Hi guys, welcome to another exciting edition of another analysis on Diary TV. My name is Akan. Some few days ago we told you Super Eagles coach Chelle said he was not going to pick players outside of the 40-man list that he used back in March, and now he has released 31 names that will be executing the Rwanda South Africa World Cup qualifiers on September 6th and September 9th. September 6th, Nigeria will take on Rwanda at the Gospel Apabio Stadium in Uyo, while on September 9th in Bloemfontein, Nigeria will take on South Africa. Nigeria does not need to drop points in any of these two games. Remember, Nigeria only has one win, and that win came against Rwanda in Kigali. So it means that Nigeria are yet to win a game at home. So it's a daunting task for the Malian coach Chelle. Chelle is currently under fire being Super Eagles boss, although he took over some few months back and people are expecting results. And from the two games he has played in the World Cup qualifier, they ended up, it was one win and one draw. So he will be looking to consolidate another win. If he wins these two games, Nigeria will be in a good position to qualify for the World Cup in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. So he has to cross the hurdle of Rwanda and South Africa. And remember, this 31-man team is still going to be trimmed to 23 players. So the best of the best of the best will still have to be picked in this list. So let's quickly run through the list for you on Diary TV. Goalkeepers are Stanley Wabali, Amos Obasogie, Harcourt Ebenezer, the teenager who made his Super Eagles debut at Chan, where Super Eagles crashed out of the group stages. The guy has been given another opportunity. The list will still be trimmed, and we have Adebayo Adele of Remo Stars. Remo Stars, remember, MPFL champions. They won the Nigerian League at this current season that just ended. So the defenders are William Troost-Ekong, Calvin Bassey, Olaino, Bright Osayi. Remember, there was the first video that we did, we made a mistake. Bright Osayi is no more in Fenerbahce. I beg your pardon, I'm sorry for that. Bright Osayi is now in Birmingham. He has even played a couple of games. Birmingham are currently in the second division of the English League, and they call it the Championship. So Bright Osayi is fully ready to come and represent Nigeria again. So other defenders are Bruno Yemachi, Igbo Ogu, Chilozia Wazim, Felix Ogu, and Benjamin Fredericks. The midfielders that we have are Alex Uwobi, Frank Onyeka, Al Hassan Yusuf, Dele Bashiru, Rafael Onyedika, Chris Santos Uche, and Wilfred Ndidi. So the strikers that we have, it's a whole list here. It's a firepower. It's the best of the best. Like I said earlier, we have Victor Osimhen, we have Ademola Lookman, we have Samuel Chukwueze, we have Moses Simon, we have Victor Boniface, we have Nathan Teller, we have Cyril Dessas, we have Sadiq Umar, we have Tolu Akorede, Aroko Dare, we have Torren Murphy, and we have Akol Adams. And let us list the players that were dropped from this list that got to 31. Remember, players will still be dropped to 23 names, and the players dropped, surprisingly, Maduka Okoye of Udinese, the Serie A goalkeeper. He's the number one for his club in Serie A, and he was dropped. And since Chelle took over the helms at as the national team coach of the Nigerian football team, he has not patronized Maduka Okoye any bit. Stanley Wabali remains his number one. So I think Stanley Wabali and the rest of the goalkeepers is what we'll say Chelle. And the others are Amos Obasogie. Amos Obasogie is also a keeper. Kayode Bankole, also a goalkeeper. I'm sorry, Adile that I mentioned is not Remo Stars. Sorry, Kayode Bankole is a Remo Stars goalkeeper. So in defense, Zaidu Sanusi, we understand Zaidu Sanusi is injured. We have Gabriel Oko, we have Jordan Toringa. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that surname very well, but Torin Nuga, and we have Ifeanyi Oyebuchi, another home base that plays for Rangers International of Enugu. And you see Joe Aribo of Southampton. Joe Aribo got relegated with Southampton into the Championship, and he's currently not deemed fit by Chelle to wear the colors of Nigeria for these 2 games. It's not that he's not good, but he's not good enough in the eyes of Chelle. And we have Pape Daniel Mustafa. Pape Daniel Mustafa plays for Niger Tornadoes, and we have Anthony Dennis. Kelechi Iheanacho, we all know Kelechi Iheanacho is struggling. He joined Sevilla last season. He failed to hold a place in the team. He was loaned to Blackburn Rovers. He also had shaky start. He didn't really feature week in, week out, and is still unsettled currently now. With Sevilla, he's gone back to Sevilla, and the season has started. He's still currently struggling to settle with his team. So we wish him the best. We wish he would be fit enough to play at least to feature, even coming on as a second half sub. He has always been fantastic coming in and scoring goals. We hope he gets back to that form that we know him for. We have Ahmed Musa. Ahmed Musa is also injured. We have Paul Onuachu. You can understand how star-studded that team is. Paul Onuachu, Trabzonspor striker, tall, lanky. He was in Southampton last season, and now he's in Trabzonspor. He's in Turkey playing for Trabzonspor, and he will not be called up to the team. And we have Chidera Ejuke also injury in, injury out. He had a fantastic season last season. At the beginning of the season, he has this. He was one of the fastest player in the La Liga because he dribbles and he runs a lot. He covers so many parts of the field, and he was regarded as one of the fastest player in La Liga. So these are the players that were dropped from the 40-man team to trim back to 31-man team. Now the 31-man provisional team will still be cut down to 23. So we'll be looking at the list. We'll be looking at players. We'll be looking at people that would think would likely be dropped from this squad. So let's go back into the squad again by Chelle. Goalkeeper Stanley Wabali, Amos Obasoge, Adebayo Adeleye, Hakot Ebenezer. Hakot Ebenezer is a teenager, young lad. I think to this extent that he has made it through, I think he will be the one that will be dropped in the goalkeeping department. For us to have 3 goalkeepers, because Adebayo Adeleye has featured under Chelle, and Amos Obasoge also stands a better chance. Hakot Ebenezer, he's a home-based player. He plays for Sporting FC, and he was discovered, and now he has risen up to the ranks of the #1 team in the Super Eagles. Highly recognized by Chelle. So, but I think he will be dropped. But it doesn't mean if the 23-man squad is finally named, it means and a player gets injured, it means out of the 31, those that were dropped from that 31-man will be picked. A player from that 31-man list will be picked that was dropped. You understand? So it is not all hope lost. So the young man will still be training, will still be keeping his fitness level and his cardio level intact. So defenders, well, it's a tight squad. Benjamin Fredericks and Igor Ogu. Benjamin Fredericks, wow, Benjamin Fredericks I think will make the team, but Igor Ogu, I think it is a sketchy thing for Igor Ogu, because we already have William Trostekong and Calvin Bassey in what's it called, in the central position, and we have Bright Osayi and Bruno Oyemachi. So Bruno Oyemachi will be on the wing backs. Taino will also be there on the wing backs, and those are our best legs that we have now. So if we are going to have any substitution from the wing backs, it's going to be Bright Osayi. Bright Osayi is spacey. Bright Osayi can run on the wings, and he can even support in the attack. He's very good. Same as Bruno Oyemachi, same as Olaino. So he's a star-studded defense for the Super Eagles. In the midfield, well, If you say Dele Bashiru will be dropped, I would disagree, because Dele Bashiru has also been in not so 100% good form for Lazio, but he's an important member of that Lazio team in the Serie A. Well, Al Hassan Yusuf for me is my own pick here, because Al Hassan Yusuf, he plays in the MLS New England, and his style of play, has the same, has semblance with Rafa Onyedika and Onyeka. So those two guys are machines, they are engines. I'm not saying Al Hassan will not make the team, but it's just from Diary TV. This is our own take on who will make the team and who will not make the team. So it's a dicey one here. But Al Hassan was at the AFCON tournament, while Benjamin Fredericks was not at the AFCON tournament. So probably Al Hassan will be given the nod by Eric Chelle. But I feel for now, if you play in Europe, I think you still stand a better chance. But who knows? Al Hassan is still being monitored by the coach, watching his games and see how he is doing well for his club in the United States. So in the attack, we have Ademola Lookman, Samuel Chukwueze, Victor Osimhen, Moses Simon, Victor Boniface. These are the usual suspects. The first five names, like I said, Lookman, Chukwueze, Osimhen, Simon, Boniface, they are the usual suspects. Now the new guys that are coming in, Nathan Teller currently plies his trade with Leverkusen, and he's also doing well. But Nathan Teller was dropped at the 11th hour before the last AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire 2 years ago, and Nathan Teller believes he still has a place because he missed out. He said he wants to make it through to the team that would qualify, that will play at AFCON and further to the World Cup. So this guy is really working hard. Cyril Dessers back in for Rangers. He was hard done by because he was not invited. He's scoring goals for Rangers in the Europa League and in the Scottish Premier League last season, and now this season this man has started. He even played at the Unity Cup, and Eric Chelle has a kind of trust in this man, and I believe this man will be dropped. I think this man will be dropped because the quality of we have Aroko Dari, we have Osimhen, we have Ademola Lookman, we have Samuel Chukwueze. So I don't think there's space here for that man, because if you say you want to use an out-and-out striker and you want to replace him, I think Aroko Dari did well when he came in against Zimbabwe, and he was the one that made that goal for Victor Osimhen that scored. Victor Boniface is a good player any day, but he's yet to register his name in the Super Eagles score sheet. But it doesn't matter, it doesn't make him less of a player. And I think Eric Chelle, for him to have mentioned him in the 30-man list provisional squad, I think he can still do better. So Akol Adams, Terem Murphy was at the last AFCON. Terem Murphy came in as a second half sub, but Boniface was not at AFCON. So I think Terem Murphy, Akol Adams, and Cyril Dessers might be shown the door. But if Cyril Dessers stays, that means Nathan Teller will join Akol Adams and Terem Murphy. Terem Murphy had a long spell on the sidelines, but he's back for his club Lyon in Ligue 1 now. So that is the list, and that is who we feel is going to play for the Super Eagles against Rwanda and South Africa. Remember, I told you we are going to be there live. It is not just we, the team of Diary TV, are going to be there live. I will be there, and my colleagues behind the cameras will also be there. So stay tuned. As we promised, we're going to give you exclusive interview from your favorite Super Eagles stars. You're going to see them smiling and looking serious ahead of those games when we go to Uyo, and we're also going to give you training clips of how they are preparing for the match, the tactics, and the seriousness in camp when everything begins to bubble. Remember, the camp also opens on September the 1st, 2025. The camp opens in Uyo, where all players are expected to assemble. You understand? So because the match is going to take place on the first game is going to take place on September the 6th. So news coming in about Super Eagles coach There have been rumors that he will be sacked if he drops a point against Rwanda or South Africa. There have been rumors making the rounds talking about this coach, how he will be let go. I think all these are distractions, but the Malian coach has come out to say, according to goal.com, this news just reached us and we saw it, and I quote, and he said, "I've heard a lot of stories about them waiting to sack me and replace me with someone else. I have heard about that. I know quite well that I can be fired after one match. This is life in football, but if they decide to do that, they must be prepared to pay up the remainder of my contract." Remember, this guy signed a 2-year deal with Nigeria, so that 2-year deal runs concurrently for the AFCON and if we qualify for the World Cup. So if he's being sacked, the remainder of his contract will be paid. This man has just stated that he's not afraid of being sacked. It is part of the life of a coach. Remember a popular saying by Italian coach Arrigo Sacchi. Arrigo Sacchi, remember, was the coach of Italy in 1994 that knocked out Nigeria in the second round of the World Cup in the United States. It was a painful one. Arrigo Sacchi, made this popular quote that there are two types of coaches in this world: the one that is to be sacked and the one that has been sacked. The one that is about to be sacked and the one that has been sacked. Okay, I think I put it rightly this way: the one that has been sacked and the one that is about to be sacked. So that is the life of a coach. If a coach comes, he can be shown the door anytime. He can be kicked out, he can be given the boot, he can be booed, and he can be jeered and booed and shown the door by the administrators. But this man has said he's not scared. So far so good. This man has not done anything wrong. But Nigeria, there's a way the Nigerian Football Federation operates. We don't know what is going on at this time, why he made such a statement. I think such a statement is a distraction. Diary TV believes such a statement is a distraction. The distraction because the team needs to focus on these two upcoming games. The players need to get their fitness correct. The league season has just started and our players are already wearing their jerseys for their respective teams and they are doing well and they are featuring. You understand? That's what we should concentrate on. Who is doing well, who should start, who should not start. Who should be sacked or who should not be sacked should not be the topic of discussion at this moment, because Nigeria is in a dicey situation. 6 games, 7 points, 4 draws, 1 loss, 1 win is nothing to write home about. Quite all right, but Chelle did not start all this drama. He didn't start all this episode. He was brought into the drama, and now rumors are saying that he will be removed from the cast of the Super Eagles team. But that is not a problem for him. Like he said, that just pay me my own end of the bargain, because we signed the contract. When you pay me, I'll leave. So we are not even expecting to drop any points against Rwanda or South Africa. But if we do, that means and the NFF take action on this matter, that means the man is gone. But Diary TV believes we should focus on this game and see how we can execute. Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen will be expected to do what they did at AFCON and the games that they've been playing for the Super Eagles. So it is not the right time to say anything about any coach or about anybody regarding what is going on behind the scenes. It is football we want to play, and let's play. Let's teach these teams that we are still a nation to reckon with in terms of football. Nigeria is one of the biggest countries in Africa in football. So let the team focus on playing this game against Rwanda at the Gospel Akpabio Stadium and flying to Bloemfontein 3 days later to play South Africa. And that's it all today on Diary TV. Please subscribe, like, comment. We are reading your comments, we are reading your criticisms, and we are making adjustments. Sometimes it might be a slip of tongue or it might be an oversight, some of the mistakes that we made, like the case of Bright Osayi. I acknowledge and I've corrected it. I'm so sorry about that. We were reading from the list that was given in March. Back in March, Osayi was still with Fenerbahce, and we are so sorry we jumped that part. So stay tuned. We'll bring you another video. We're going to analyze another video. Go to our video logs. You are going to see we've done a video on Taribo's comment about him saying he doesn't want his son to represent Nigeria. He would not advise his son to represent Nigeria because of the way the administrators behaved during Rufai's funeral. He was not given a honorary or befitting burial, according to him. Go to our, we have lots of videos that you can gain something for. So I'll see you some other time. Thank you. I remain Akan. Bye.